Welcome to our college and career video series. In this video, we're going to talk about Naviance student. I'm Kristen Tegeler. I'm the counselor for 11th and 12th graders, and I'm going to walk you through how we utilize Naviance as our college career tool and how we really are there to guide students all the way from 9th grade through 12th grade. Just a little bit about Naviance in general. Like I mentioned, this is our college and career planning tool. It's a resume builder, so as students are thinking through what their extracurriculars are, and if that's something that they need to be putting on a college application, there's a tool in here to help students do that. There's career exploration tools, there's college resources and exploration tools, there's scholarship searches. So there's so many parts that really help our students to be thoughtful, to do research, to be organized as they prepare for what comes beyond Berean. To give you a little bit of an idea of what this looks like from 9th grade all the way through 12th grade, I thought I'd put a couple puzzle pieces together for you. So in 9th and 10th grade, we like to ask the questions, who are you and what do you want to do? Miss Grieb goes into our 9th and 10th grade courses in which students are going to do career exploration assessments to get an idea of, based on things that you like to do, based on things that you are naturally gifted at by God, what are career paths to help you and have you seek out potentially? There's also personality assessments. So, based on, again, your personality, your natural tendencies, what are careers that fit that for you? There's also some incredible assessments about learning style and what their natural strengths are. As we go into 11th grade, I move into talking with our juniors about, where do you want to go? Now that you're halfway through high school and we're now already starting to think about transitioning out of high school, let's get a plan for you and let's talk about where you'd like to go. And so Naviance helps us navigate that element. And then in 12th grade, that's the how. How are you going to get there? And so I meet one-on-one with every single 11th grader and every single 12th grader to talk specifically about what this looks like and then what specific things they're going to need, whether it's filling out an application or filling out scholarships in order to make college more affordable. So that's all part of that how that we navigate. So what I'm going to do now is show you a live demo through Naviance. And so while I do that, I'm just going to explain a little bit more about Naviance. So again, our 9th graders, they get the accounts in the spring semester and Miss Grieb will hand out that. And we encourage students to sign in using their Berean email so that way it sticks with them all the way through. We encourage them to bookmark this on their iPads in Google Chrome, and that way it's easy for them to get into and they have it all the way through 12th grade. And so here's what an account looks like. We call this the dashboard, or this is your home page. And so once a student sets up their path, and they can edit their path and think through lots of different options going throughout high school, whether it's military, whether they're undecided, they want to take a gap year. Most of our students will indicate they eventually want a bachelor's degree, whether they're planning to apply directly to a four-year college or they're considering a community college before transferring to a four-year university. But if students are unsure, they can add additional paths. As you see, there's this add secondary path. And what this will do is really tailor the homepage for that student. And so I've selected a bachelor's degree since that's the majority of what our students are pursuing after high school. It's already set up. I've taken a few surveys already that indicate some careers that might be good paths for me. And then down below, I can actually indicate what are colleges, let's say I'm a senior, what are colleges I'm already applying to and what are colleges I'm thinking about. And so really 9th through 11th grade, we want our students to hover in this colleges I'm thinking about list. Once they get to senior year, that's when they're adding the colleges I'm applying to because that becomes their final list. Okay, so this is our home page. Where our 9th through 11th graders are mainly going to hover is in this self-discovery. And so we have various career exploration. We have a career cluster finder, career interest profiler. They can learn about multiple intelligences. It's so cool. Learning and productivity. So this one goes as specific as, what is the lighting like when you're studying? What's the atmosphere like around you? Do you like a little bit of background noise and music, or do you like it completely quiet? So I love how specific this gets. I think this is a really good one for our freshmen to explore so they can have some really good study habits going the rest of the time through high school and then into college. This personality is kind of like a high school version of a Myers-Briggs test. So students can get a sense of, what are, again, my natural tendencies, and then what are careers that fit who God has already naturally made me to be. We have different skills and then strengths that students can explore as well. So just to give you an idea, our cluster finder, so I've already taken this test. It takes, 5 to 10 minutes to do. And then based on very simple questions, it puts together, what are my top clusters or kind of umbrella terms of careers that might be good fits for me. And so the top 4 will come up. You can certainly explore more. And so after you click on one, it'll go way more in depth. You can always like it and favorite to go back on your home page. And then you can look at what are other careers that might be good fit within each umbrella or each cluster. So I really encourage students to take advantage of this one, to just start the wheels, get the wheels turning in your mind about what might be a general, path to pursue. I also encourage students to do this personality test. And this is one where students can take, it's about 36 questions. So again, it only takes maybe, I would say 10, maybe a little under 10 minutes to do, in which you can get a sense of what your personality type is. And it comes out with this 4-digit code, which you go, wow, I don't really understand what that is, but it will explain each of them below. It gives a general overview of who you might be. You can even say, yeah, this sounds like me, or no, it doesn't. And then it'll go further into depth, as you see, on some quick points about what this looks like for you. And then down below, well, what are your strengths? What are challenges for you? What are some things to consider as far as activities to explore in the future, learning environment? What sort of work environment should you be in? And what are some challenges to just be aware of going into a work field down the line? If you scroll down, you'll see it's a pretty long assessment, but it'll also go into some careers for you and what might be some recommended careers. And so again, you can favor or like it at any point, and it'll show up under favorite careers, or it'll also show up on that homepage or that dashboard. All right, I'm going to scroll all the way up. And that's just showing you a little bit of the self-discovery. So this is, again, a really good one for those students just starting to reflect on, who am I? Where should I devote my time? And where should activities be? Or what sort of extracurriculars should I look into? And so here's the careers tab, where if you liked any of those, it'll just show up in the favorites as well. For any of our students looking in the military, you can also explore the military, and it has links directly to each of those branches' websites. So it's really awesome. In 11th grade, I'm going to start working with the students in the research colleges, which of course our 9th and 10th graders can add at any point. I just really start to dive into this and be really intentional with our 11th graders to be adding things. And so for students that are already starting to think about colleges, I have them add colleges, or they click a heart to add colleges to this section of ones I'm thinking about. So I've added a variety of colleges here, some in California, some outside of California. And so let's say I click on this first one that has these little stars. The stars just mean that there's a little bit of an extended profile. As you'll see, there's pretty pictures. You can take a virtual tour, especially if a student's not able to visit a college. Looking at the dashboard can be incredibly helpful for them to get a sense of what it's like there. But I really encourage all students to take that time, if you can, to go visit colleges you're interested in, because it can really make a difference going into that application process as a senior. There's general information. There's even deadlines that are coming up, just a little bit to learn about the campus in general, how big it is. And then you can go into studies. Studies is like going to be, major. And so you can go down, you can see what their top areas of study are here. And if you scroll down, you can look up every single major that this college offers. And so you can keep scrolling down to see if they have what you're looking for, because that's a huge piece too, right? The college you're considering, it has to be the academic fit. It has to have what you're interested in studying. Otherwise, it's not going to be a great option. And so I encourage you to go and look at the majors list. list to see if they have things that you're interested in. And so there's other tabs that you can look through as well, but I find especially the overview and the studies tab the most helpful. And then if you like the school and you want to add it, just click the heart. So here I'm removing it and you see that that heart is not filled. You click it again and it right away goes to that colleges I'm thinking about list. But let's say you're in that boat where you have no idea what colleges you might be interested in and what factors are important to you. Naviance has some tools for you. And so I love this Supermatch college search or this advanced college search. So I encourage you to maybe look through those ones as well. And what it'll do is start to identify factors that maybe you haven't considered before. Location, and it actually goes into depth of every state in the country, or are you looking outside of the country? It goes through majors and it can be really specific. Campus surroundings. Do you like rural? Do you like suburban? Do you like urban? Do you like to do things outdoors? Are you an outdoorsy person? Do you like to be by the beach? How close or how far away do you want to be from home? So it gets really specific into questions that, again, maybe a student hasn't quite considered. And then from that, it'll bring up some fits for you. So here's just a few based on me doing this activity at other points to give maybe some colleges that I wouldn't have thought about before, but now I want to be thinking through. So that's going to be our college search tab. Now, once our students are seniors, we move things to this tab, colleges I'm applying to. And I work really closely with our students on this list. So here's just a sampling of some of the colleges that our students are looking at. And so again, I can look back at the profile by clicking on it at any point. It gives the deadlines. It lets me know how I need to apply, which I'll work with students through that. This is also where students request letters of recommendation for teachers when they're going through the application process. So I work very closely again with our seniors through that, but just know this is a place where we send our letters of recommendation for colleges. This is also where we send your students transcripts. So just know it's really important that our seniors are active on here in order to make sure their list is completely accurate and we can send all necessary documents on their behalf. Another thing that is really helpful is the scholarship page. And so this scholarship search gives you an idea of the different scholarships and their deadlines that are coming up. So as an example, today's February 10th. And so I've put up what are the scholarships that are on the rise and coming. Once the deadline's passed, I deactivate the scholarship and then I'll reactivate it when the deadline gets closer in the following year. But for now, I just put up the ones with deadlines that are up and coming. Some of these are local scholarships. Some of them are national level scholarships. We put in a little description about the scholarship itself, what the maximum award is, when the deadline is, and then you can click on the scholarship itself to get more information, including a link to the scholarship page itself where you can be applying. But we'll put in general criteria so that you know if you match that scholarship or not. So that's our scholarship page. The last thing that I want to show you is in the About Me section. And so there's some surveys that are in here. One of the surveys is one that I do with seniors for letters of recommendation. You can put in your test scores if you have an SAT or ACT. So I'm in a demo account and I haven't taken one, but anytime a student takes an ACT or an SAT, I will update the scores in a student's account for them. Students can add goals if they'd like to. They can upload any documents. They can upload their own resume. And then students can also be working on their own resume. So either whether this is for colleges, whether this is for a job application, an extracurricular application in some way, a pre-college or summer program that they're looking at, I really encourage students to do that resume function as well to just get a sense of what a resume looks like. Because as we know, going into the future with jobs, we definitely need a resume when we're applying for a job in the future. Well, I'm going to go back to the home page here and I'm going to leave us with that with Naviance. So I really encourage you to take time and explore this. I could spend hours on this website and explaining it further because there's rabbit holes to go down and there's so much information about jobs and careers and scholarships. And then how does that translate into colleges to be considering? And so please explore this, enjoy it. Come see me, Mrs. Tegeler. If you have any questions about it, or if you're having trouble accessing your account, come on by. I will help you through the process at any point. So with that, I hope that you have a wonderful day.